The reason for Beyoncé and Keri Hilson decade-long beef. Hello everyone and welcome to True Celebrity Stories. In today's video, we're going to talk about one of the most speculated topics in hip-hop history. Lately, there has been some rumor wafting in the air about Keri Hilson and Beyoncé putting a stop to their decade-long feud. The rumor seems to have sprung from the comments made by Keri Hilson about a recently shared healing moment between the Energy singer and former Destiny's Child singer. But can there be a fire without a cause? A reunion without there being a fallout? Let's dive back in time to get a look at how it all started. The rise of a star. The 2000s was a decade to remember in the life of Keri Hilson, whose music career took off in 2004. Her breakthrough to the limelight was pretty much like a thunderstorm. Knock You Down, featuring Kanye West and Ne-Yo, was the highlight of her debut studio album, which was released in 2009. The album, titled In a Perfect World, also includes I Like and Turnin' Me On, in which she featured Lil Wayne. Arguably the most successful album of her career so far, it debuted at number 4 on the US Billboard 200 chart, eventually being certified gold by the Recording Industry Association of America. It also earned Hilson 2 Grammy Award nominations for Best New Artist and Best Rap Song Collaboration for Knock You Down. In December 2010, she released her second studio album titled No Boys Allowed. Although inferior to its predecessor in terms of success, it included the platinum single Pretty Girl Rock featuring Kanye West. It could be argued that her debut album is the jealous type because it has a decisive hand in the seemingly less success of her second. To be precise, the remix version of her single Turning Me On in 2010 was instrumental in the second album's lagging. Turning Me On or Turning Me Off? The remix version of Turnin' Me On could have said to be turned off instead of turning on Keri's budding career. It has some lyrics on it that seem like a diss towards Beyoncé, and the beehives didn't fail to catch the wafting odors of them. In the song, Keri sings, "Your vision cloudy if you think that you the best. You can dance, she can sing, but need to move it to the left. She needs to go have some babies. She need to sit down. She fake, them other chicks ain't even worth talking about." According to the beehives, the line "move it to the left" is a dig at Beyoncé. Beyoncé had released her Irreplaceable in 2006, and it sings the same line that Keri has in her remix version of Turnin' Me On. Some said it's also a diss at Ciara because Keri was known for writing her lyrics at that time. Keri, though, had something else to say about the lyrics, which she originally wanted to be vague. "It's anybody that ever tried to take me down and didn't want to see me succeed," she said. "I'm not going to call their names because I feel I've addressed it." Keri has suggested on Out Loud with Claudia Jordan in 2020 that during those days, she didn't have a lot of control over her image. "When you're early in your career, you feel that you have to listen," she began. "When you buck, they buck harder and they make threats. Those threats are huge ones. You don't feel like you have a choice. I really didn't feel like I had a choice. You learn to fight harder, but I didn't have enough fight in me at 20 and 21. She added that she didn't write her lyrics in those days. She continued, "No one could ever compare to Beyoncé. No one will for a very, very, very long time, and that was never my aim either. However, it was framed that way. It was written that way. Was not my lyrics, was not my writing, was not my doing. And then I'm caught like, do I tell the truth? Do I expose them early in my career? I'm super young, super new. This is my first album. It just soiled my whole dream." She would try to handle things differently if she could go back in time in her career because now I'm finally free from those characters and I'm able to control a lot more of my image, my perception, my character. It's me. It's me now. Many believe that the budding Keri had outrageously blasted Beyoncé's artistry and her not making room at the top for singers like herself. At the time, Beyoncé stan didn't take action directly at Keri, although they were buzzing after hearing the lyrics, "Bees will still buzz when they don't sting." In the following years, though, it was a very different scene as they finally went full attack on Keri after what she did at the Soul Train Awards in 2011. At the red carpet. Beyoncé hasn't said anything about Hilson and the whole track incident, except what some people speculate that her 2013 Mean anthem, Bow Down, was influenced by Keri's remix. On the other hand, though, Keri seemed to have taken things to the ring. At the awards, when a reporter asked her to hold up the then latest Juicy magazine, which had Beyoncé and her husband Jay-Z gracing the cover of, the Knock You Down singer took a glance at the publication only to respond saying, "Who's that?" After being told that it was the Carters, she hit back insisting, "No, I'm sorry, I can't do that," before dismissing the reporter by walking away amid her interview. Her reaction to seeing the magazine and then abruptly ending her conversation seemed strange and led fans to wonder whether there had been some sort of beefing between the two female singers, particularly as it had happened 2 years after the diss track. The nosedive of a career. It is pertinent here to remind you that it was after releasing her controversial track that Keri released her second studio album, No Boys Allowed, which, compared to her debut album, didn't perform well in the charts. She sold 102,000 copies in her first week with the record, earning the record its peak position at number 11 on the Billboard Hot 200. On a commercial basis, aside from Pretty Girl Rock, the remaining singles lifted from the album also weren't as successful as the ones from In a Perfect World. It's hard not to think that the album's poor sale was a result of her decision of starting a feud with Beyoncé. Beyoncé of all people. She has ruffled some big feathers, and the beehives were upset. Keri hasn't released any album since then. Sting of the Bees' Beehives. It's a bad idea to fuck with bees, so is fucking with the beehives. Keri's reaction to the Carters cover not only didn't sit well with the fan base, but it also spurred venomous backlashes towards her. In a lengthy post on her Twitter page in 2013, Keri revealed that she'd been on the receiving end of an outpouring amount of hateful comments from the beehive and pleaded that she be left alone. She wrote, "You have no idea what your hateful words could do to someone's spirits. Years of verbal abuse from strangers all day long. Enough is enough. I'm here for my fans." She went on, "I'm stronger than you imagine, but waking up, going to bed to your ugliness is just too much, kids. I get it, okay? You can stop now. And as far as whatever you're mad about, I had my reasons. It's been years. Just chalk it up to your ignorance of my reality and let it go. As for my mistakes, God has dealt with me." No one could be certain what she meant by "God has dealt with me," but her second album's performance and her going AWOL since then would be sensible speculations. Although the public has a negative view of her, Keri has tried to put things to rest and have back her grace with the public. "No, I don't have a beef with any female artist. I think it's just interesting that we live in such a gullible world," Keri said in an interview with Hip Hop Hollywood. "Anything that's written, anything that is posted, and a picture that is interpreted one way is truth. It's like the Bible now. You can Photoshop something, put it out, and everyone believes it." Out of the shell. It's been years since Keri started teasing about the release of a new album, which is called Liar, or Love is a Religion. In January 2018, she said, "I think I had to give up music for a while. I stepped away. I thought it would just be a year. It's been 6, maybe." She continued, "I realize now that I'm grateful for all of those years. I have built myself back up. It is sort of a comeback because I've hit rock bottom a few times and I'm crawling back to walking in my purpose." Has she been lying because she's yet to release her Liar? Back to the present. On April 11th, the two female singers had a heart-to-heart conversation during an Instagram Live with radio host Persia Nicole. Keri explained in the interview that she had introduced herself. "It was a gracious moment. I appreciated it. I feel like she understood what happened, what had transpired, and there was a bit of healing at the moment when we met. I take her as a very intuitive kind of soul, as am I," she added. A collaboration? When quizzed about a possible collaboration between the two, Keri said she would be open to it. "Yeah, it would be a very fun experience to do that if she were open," she said. "I do feel she understood what that was all about. She's amazing. I've always felt that way. That's the truth of the matter, but no one will believe that."